Call to order, City of Forest Park, Council Meeting Number 1233, July 21st, 2014. Let us stand for the pledge, please. United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Burns.
Here.
Cottle.
Here.
Irby.
Here.
Holt.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Lives.
Here.
Southall.
Here.
All council members are present. Item number 3 on the agenda is presentation of business of the month. Mr. Paul Graham, please. I'm sorry. You all got a copy of your minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? Hearing none, the minutes will stand approved as presented. Item number 3 is presentations, business of the month. Mr. Paul Graham.
Mayor, members of council, thank you very much. Our July business of the month is one of our newest members of our business community, Sims Furniture. Sims gives everyone the opportunity to own top quality home furniture, appliances, and television sets, all at affordable prices. The store carries a full line of bedroom sets, dinettes, living room sets, and appliances featuring some of the best names of the industry, including Von Bassett, Standard, Coaster, Ashley, Jackson Catnapper, Used Furniture, Crosley Appliances, Serta, Imperial, LG TVs, Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft. At Sims Furniture, you're guaranteed quality merchandise with affordable monthly payments, but this is not rent to own. You own the merchandise. The original store was established in 1927 on Vine Street in Cincinnati. In the late 1940s, Ralph Mazer Sr. bought the store and renamed it to what we know now as Sims Furniture. In the late 1960s, Ralph Jr. bought Sims Furniture from his father, and in the 70s, he moved the store to the 600 block of Madison Avenue. In 2011, Ralph Jr. retired and ownership was transferred to Sims Management. Today, the company has 3 locations, one in Covington, one in Florence, and the new store here in Forest Park. In recognition of their decision to locate here in Parkwood Plaza, converting what had been a vacant storefront into a great shopping opportunity for our residents, we are proud to recognize Sims Furniture as our July Business of the Month. And accepting the award tonight is Renee Reed, Store Manager of the Forest Park Store. Renee.
Congratulations, Renee. So, plaques read, City of Forest Park, Business of the Month, Sim Furniture, in recognition of the company's contributions to the growth and development of the City of Forest Park. Again, congratulations. Thank you. Have a word for us, please.
It truly is an honor to be here in Forest Park. We were located on Corn Avenue before, but Forest Park gives us a more spacious location, better parking, and it's a very beautiful area. So we're very happy to be here, and thank you for having us.
Thank you very much. The next item on the agenda would be item number 4, communications from the public. This is the time for citizens to comment on matters before council or to ask questions of concern to them. When recognized, please come forward to the podium, give your name and address, and then state your comments or questions. Council meetings are tape recorded for ease of transcription. Comments are limited to 5 minutes. Is there anyone from the public who would like to address the council? Okay, seeing no one, we will then move to item number 5, reports of standing committees. The first of these reports will be the Public Safety Committee. Mr. Lives.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I had no specific report tonight, but if there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Any questions for Councilman Lives? Hearing none, Councilman Lives, for the meeting, the work session on the 28th, I have one item on the agenda for you. Actually, that's, as you know, we've been going through a series of reports by various departments. This first one will be the police department overview. That would be on the agenda for the work session on the 28th.
Okay, thank you.
Next committee report is Public Improvement and Facilities. Councilman Southall.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do not have a report this evening for Public Improvement and Facilities, but I would respond to any questions if there be any.
Are there any questions for Mr. Southall? Hearing none, thank you. Mr. Southall, I have two items on the agenda for you for the work session. The 2014 road program and also the phone system upgrade. Do you have any to add?
Not at this time, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Next committee report is Ways and Means Committee. Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, I just want to say that I attended the concert on the Green in the rain on Friday evening, and I want to take the opportunity to thank Emeritus #1 for their commitment to assisting us in putting that event on, and all the other businesses that contribute. I know Emeritus employees volunteer, directing traffic and passing out programs and a number of other things. And I want to thank all the other people that combined together to make that event so successful. And I want to commend all those people that showed up in the rain with their golf umbrellas. And it was actually a very pleasant event. And thanks again to Emeritus for the fireworks again for a second year. So
Thank you.
conclude my report.
I have two items on the agenda for you. Special assessments, Forest Fair Village Mall, and TIF consultation. Do you have any to add?
No, I don't.
Next committee report is Community Development Committee. Mr. Burns.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't have a specific report, but I would remind all council members, we do have a meeting with the Winton Woods, representatives from the Winton Woods School Board on the 31st. If you have any items that you'd like to discuss during that time, please forward that information to myself or Sally. And if there's any questions, I'll be glad to respond.
Any questions for Mr. Burns? Hearing none. Mr. Burns, I have two items on the agenda for you for the work session. That's the first one is they're both demolitions. The first one is 11442 Gresham Place, and the second one is 10820 Carnegie Drive. Do you have any to add?
No, thank you.
Next committee is Law Committee. Councilwoman Cottle.
I have no report this evening.
Any questions for Councilwoman Cottle? Hearing none, Councilwoman Cottle, I have one item on the agenda for the work session, liquor license request, J. Davis Enterprises Entertainment, LLC. Do you have any to add?
No, thanks.
The next report is Human Resources Committee. Councilwoman Holt.
I do not have a report tonight, thank you.
Any questions for Councilwoman Holt? Hearing none, Councilwoman Holt, I have one item on the agenda for you. As I said to Councilman Live, this is continuing the overview. We have an overview from the Human Resources Department. Do you have any other items to add?
No, I do not.
Thank you. The last standing committee report is Intergovernmental Relations and Communications Committee. That is my committee. I have no report. However, I would be happy to answer any questions if there are any. Hearing no questions, I have no items on the agenda for that committee. We move to item number 6, the mayor's report. I would just like to report, first of all, that I did also attend and participate in the activities at the concert on the Green. I would like to thank, first of all, Mr. Steve Valaris and Emeritus for their continuing to support. This concert on the Green was our 25th anniversary. I would like to thank all of the volunteers, and a thank you to all of our city departments who volunteered as well. And I would like to add a special thanks to Paul Biram, our Economic Development Director. As usual, Paul did an outstanding job. Paul, as always, goes far and above the call of duty to get that, to make sure that everything involved with that concert is successful. And a thank you to John Morris Russell and the Cincinnati Pops, who provided, obviously, the music. It's amazing what an outstanding job they do every year at that concert and the participation that group makes. Thank you to Catherine Nero and Channel 9 for their presentations of students to awards to the 5 students of the week. Though it is very important that we recognize our young people for their academic achievements and their attendance at schools. And finally, I would like to thank those people who participated in the car show. I believe in all we had, I believe there were actually 15 cars that actually ended up showing up. We presented 3 awards. It's truly, in talking to them, it's truly a labor of love. They spend so much time restoring those cars. And although they are reluctant to bring them out in inclement weather, and they did bring them out, and everybody got a chance to see them and to look at them. Believe it or not, I think there were actually 2 cars there that were older than I am. And I would hope that when I get to be the age of those cars, I look as well as they did. Again, I want to thank everyone for their participation in the volunteering and the citizens who attended, and I look forward to seeing you all there again next year. And that would end my report, but I would answer any questions if there are any. Hearing none, we'll move to item number 7, the city manager's report. Mr. Hodges.
Thank you. I'll report 2 things. First, that the environmental report have all been completed and placed with the clerk of council on file for public inspection, also included in council packet. We did have at least one department that was not able to get a report in, but typically we have all the reports for the departments. And then I also just point out, I'm sure council received my email over the weekend about activity occurring in the community, and just trying to keep you abreast of what's going on. That's of importance. So that would include all the items from my report, but I would respond to any questions if there are any.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for the city manager? Hearing none. Thank you, Mr. Hodges. We move to item number 8, other reports. First of those being our law director, Mr. Wyckoff.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to let all the council know that I recommend passage on the second reading of ordinance number 11, 2014. We do need to curb excessive offenders that refuse to follow police orders, and the leash law, as you see in the news every day, is becoming more and more important. It seems like every day there's another child being bit or some attacked by a dog, and I think it's important for us to make sure owners take responsibility for their dogs by having them on a leash when not contained in their backyards. Also, I gave requested information to the auditor regarding pending and or threatened litigation. So from the legal side of it, the auditor has been provided all necessary information for its annual report. Other than that, if there are no questions, that would be the end of my report.
Any questions for the law director? Hearing none, thank you, Mr. Wyckoff. Next report on the others is the clerk of council, Mrs. Hoffman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to report that resolution numbers 19 and 20-2014 were posted as required. And that concludes my report.
Okay. Any questions for the clerk of council? Thank you, Ms. Hoffman. Moving on, the next item on the agenda is item number 9, new business. Is there a motion, Mr. Lives?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full on 2 separate days and read for the first time by title only ordinances 07-2014 through 11-2014. The ordinances were posted 6 days prior to our meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we suspend the rules requiring reading in full on 2 separate days and read for the first time by title only ordinances number 07-2014 through 11-2014. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Will the clerk call the roll on the motion?
Burns.
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Herbie.
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lives.
Yes.
Sathal.
Yes.
Motion to suspend the rules passes 7-0. First item on the new business is item A, ordinance number 7-2014. Would the clerk please read that ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 07-2014, An ordinance providing for the issuance of not to exceed $1,425,000 real estate development bond anticipation notes, Kmart project, by the City of Forest Park, Ohio, in anticipation of the issuance of bonds of the city and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
I move adoption of ordinance number 07-2014.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance number 07-2014. Is there any discussion? Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, I want to address this ordinance and the next three ordinances because they are all linked. They're all associated with our annual note refinancing. We make an annual payment on all our outstanding debt and refinance the balance for another year. This first item, this 07-2014, breaks out an outstanding note that we used to acquire our old Kmart property on Hamilton and Waycross. We're breaking this note out because of the potential sale of this property this year, which would result in a non-tax exempt status, but we're retaining the option of not selling the property and keeping it as a tax exempt. So this is just kind of just in case motion that says we have this opportunity to sell the property to a non-governmental private party during the time that council will be on recess. In that case, we'll be able to classify it as a taxable issuance, and it won't confuse other bonds which are clearly for tax-exempt public purposes. Investors like to know whether they're buying tax-exempt or taxable notes because they base their bids accordingly. If we do not close on this site during this time, then the standalone issuance would not happen, and the renewal associated with that site would remain part of the $2,495,000 issuance that follows. Ordinance 8-2014 represents the outstanding $2 million worth of notes for the Waycross streetscape, the Winton Road improvements, the Winton-Gilmore Bridge, and our energy conservation projects. The ordinance number 09-2014 represents the outstanding $2,495,000 worth of notes for redevelopment activities, which we acquired vacant properties and removed structures because they were a strain on the city's appearance and economic development. And then the last ordinance, 10-2014, is the legislation that combines all three of them into one note. And so I urge adoption of this first piece. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the... Yes, ma'am.
I just want to make it, bring to your attention a correction. You said 2,000.
I'm sorry, $2,495,000. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Hope. Any further discussions? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on ordinance number 07-2014?
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lives,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Ordinance number 07-2014 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is ordinance number 08-2014. Would the clerk please read that ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 08-2014, an ordinance providing for the issuance of not to exceed $2 million various purpose bond anticipation notes, Series 2013, First 2014 renewal by the City of Forest Park, Ohio, in anticipation of the issuance of bonds of the city and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of ordinance number 08-2014.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance 08-2014. Is there any discussion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Just that this is the bond that's associated with many of our public utilities projects, the streetscape improvements on roads and bridges and so on.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on ordinance number 08-2014?
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lives,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Ordinance number 08-2014 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is ordinance number 09-2014. Would the clerk please read that ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 09-2014, an ordinance providing for the issuance of not to exceed $2,495,000 various purpose bond anticipation notes, Series 2010B, 4th 2014 renewal by the City of Forest Park, Ohio, in anticipation of the issuance of bonds of the city and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of ordinance number 09-2014.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance 09-2014. Any discussions? Councilwoman Herbie.
Just that this is the ordinance that covers many of our community redevelopment projects, purchases of vacant properties and demolition of them.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on ordinance 09-2014?
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lives,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie.
Yes.
Ordinance number 09-2014 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda, item D, is ordinance 10-2014. Would the clerk please read that ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 10-2014, an ordinance providing for the issuance of not to exceed $4,495,000 various purpose bond anticipation notes, Series 2014, by the City of Forest Park, Ohio, in anticipation of the issuance of bonds of the city and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of ordinance number 10-2014.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance numbers 10-2014. Is there a discussion? Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, this is the ordinance that wraps the three notes together. And I want to point out that the outstanding note balance that stands at $5,220,000 would be reduced to an amount not to exceed $4,495,000. And while that's a substantial amount, many of these things represent things that will provide income to the city. So I would urge adoption of this ordinance. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Mr. Burns.
Yes, just for a point of clarification, all of these ordinances, 7 through 10, have been declared an emergency just based on the sensitive nature of the bond market and us having to actually act on.
Right. And also, a lot of times when we're doing financial items, we do declare them emergencies. Most other ordinances require 2 readings, but most of the financial ordinances, we declare emergencies and we don't require 2 readings.
Right.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on ordinance number 10-2014?
Johnson,
Yes.
Lives,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Ordinance 10-2014 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item E, ordinance number 11-2014. Would the clerk please read this ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 11-2014, an ordinance amending Chapter 96 miscellaneous regulations regarding animals at large.
Okay, this is a first reading. I believe there's no vote on this tonight. There will be a vote on this one at the next meeting on August. The next meeting of the council will be on Monday, August 4th. Also, I don't know, Mr. Hodges may or may not put this back on the agenda for the work session for any further discussion. If anybody chooses to have any discussion on it, I would say, Mr. Hodges, put it as a below-the-line item, just in the event that somebody might want to have some continuing discussions. Okay. Then the next, we'll go to the next item, Mr. Lives, is a motion.
Sir. Thank you, Mayor. I move to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full and read resolution number 21-2014 by title only. The resolution was posted 6 days prior to our meeting.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we suspend the rules requiring the reading in full and read resolution number 21-2014 by title only. This resolution was posted 6 days prior to the meeting. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on the motion to suspend?
Lives,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Motion to suspend the rules passes 7-0. Item number F, resolution number 21-2014. Would the clerk please read that resolution by title only?
Resolution number 21-2014, accepting the bid of Strausser Construction, Inc. for the 2014 surface ceiling program.
Is there a motion, Mr. Southall?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 21-2014 be received for adoption.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution number 21-2014. Is there a discussion, Mr. Southall?
Yes, this is the 2014 surface ceiling programs for some of the main arteries, such as Sharon Road and a portion of Southland to Northland Boulevard by the Strayer Construction Company. I would urge adoption of this resolution 2014.
Is there further discussions? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on resolution 21-2014?
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lives.
Yes.
Resolution 21-2014 passes 7-0. The next item on the agenda is item G, a motion. Councilwoman Herbie.
I would move to receive the general fund summary report as contained in the departmental reports.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we receive the general fund summary report as contained in the departmental reports. Is there any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion to receive the general fund report, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Is there any more business to come before the body? Any more business before we adjourn? I see we have a young man in the back. Do you have something for us?
I'm a
Boy Scout.
Boy Scout.
I know.
I'm from Troop 43 over Mason, and I'm working on a merit badge for citizenship in the community, and I had to attend a council meeting.
I know. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I was aware of that. I just wanted to give, would you tell us who you are, please?
Oh, my name is Kelly Smith.
Thank you very much, Kelly. Thanks for being here. And at the end of the meeting, you can come up and I'll see you, okay? Any further business to come before the body? Any other business to come before the body? Hearing none,